Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Patrick here with the Northwoods Nobodies. Today we're going to talk about IFAKs. About a year and a half ago, I attended a Stop the Bleed course, mass cas event, TCCC, whatever you want to call it, at the Modern Sportsman, my preferred gun range. Afterwards, I built this little IFAK for myself, and I made a video on it that I'll put up here. It's very early on, not the best. It got like 56 views. So the intended purpose of this kit was to stay in my truck and go with me wherever I went. And that was a great idea until we started going to the range a lot more. And this became the range IFAK, so that I always had medical kits with me. Because we're at the range, we're shooting, things can happen. So that one never really made it in the truck in my intended purpose of it. So about a month ago now, Primary Arms had a sale on medical supplies, and they do that fairly often, be it North American Rescue or the Primary Arms kits themselves, which uses North American Rescue components. They have good sales fairly often, like 20-25% off. So if you're interested in medical care, obviously go take a Stop the Bleed course, do something like that first, and then build your IFAK. And they make great kits. So I ordered 2 kits. They were $83.99 before tax and shipping and all that kind of stuff. That was their discounted price. And I got one for my wife's vehicle and one for my truck. And when you get it, you get the bag. It comes in this little bag here. And then you get the first aid kit itself, and everything is contained in this nice little vacuum sealed bag. And you should definitely take it out of the bag. Do not leave it in here. So going over what you get in the kit, like I said, obviously you get a bag. I chose a red bag because red is dead. That way it's easy to find in my truck if I ever need it. And I need to tell somebody, go to my truck, grab the red bag. So I got a red one. Inside the kit itself, you do get a cat tourniquet. A cat tourniquet should always be staged. This is not staged. This is not packaged, but this isn't staged and ready to go. There are plenty of guys out there. I believe Preparedness is a great one, and plenty of other people that will show you how to stage a Cat 7 tourniquet. And for the love of God, do not buy a cheap one off Amazon. Do not skimp on these things. Get a correct cat tourniquet or a soft T-wide. Get a tourniquet that is of good quality standings. I bought 2 of these soft T-wides. I still need to stage them and then incorporate them into my own kit and that kind of stuff. The nice thing about a soft T-wide is that they have a metal windlass on them versus the plastic ones that are on the Cat 7s. That being said, the Cat 7 is a tried and true tourniquet. These things are used everywhere. Ukraine, any major conflict, these things have become the standard, and you should have more than one tourniquet, in my humble opinion. This kit here has 2 in it. My plate carrier has one, my recce rig has one, my truck has one all the time. Now having my own medical kit, I'll have another one in there, and these bags usually have room to add other tourniquets and that kind of stuff in it. So back to what you get in the kit. Like I said, you get a tourniquet. This is one. North American Rescue is all these components, or most of them, and this is the cat tourniquet. Get this, stage it properly. You then get compressed gauze, very handy. Trauma dressing. So like I said before, you should take a Stop the Bleed course to learn how to use these components. I'm not going to teach you here today. I'm not a medical professional. I'm a wannabe YouTuber that went to class and then began to study a little bit more. So find ways to, understand how to use this stuff. But compressed gauze, trauma dressing, you do get a chest seal set. These are the compacts. They make a big and a compact size. So these ones are the compact. I have both in this kit. I have the big and the smalls. You do get petroleum gauze. Gotta be honest, I don't know why that's in there. Maybe something kinky, maybe something not. I'm assuming it's for like a nasal pharyngeal airway, which I do not have in here, and I have never added into my kit, but I'm assuming that's the purpose of that, I think. You do get some surgical tape, handy to have around. And then you do get this little baggie here, and in the baggie are, I'm reading it off the card, so 10 fabric bandages, so for your little boo-boos, that kind of stuff. 2 antibiotic ointments, 8 alcohol prep pads, and then a 0.9 gram Burn Tech gel. So you get kind of your, little boo-boo kit here, things that are going to happen. It's good to have. I have a box of Band-Aids in the range box that comes with us, so we always have Band-Aids just in case. Yeah, you do get a eye wash solution, so just something handy to have around. You do get trauma shears. These are North American Rescue ones. What I have heard from watching videos and that kind of stuff is that these shears, because they're cheap, if you will. They're the reasonably priced ones. They're only good for about one pair of pants, one person per se. So they don't hold up the sharpness very long compared to some of the higher end ones, but obviously having them is better than not having them. So trauma shears, and then you do get an emergency survival blanket. It's very important to be able to control people's temperature if there is some sort of shock or something going on in their system. These are very handy, and they're cheap. They're like $2 on their own. So I actually went out and bought 4 more because I'm just going to throw 2 extra in each kit after I build them. You do get 2 pairs of gloves, and then you do get public access bleeding control just in time. So this will give you the very basic how to put things on, where they go, what their purpose is. A lot of the resources and stuff that you are looking for are going to be online. I do strongly advocate for taking a Stop the Bleed course. Check your local range, just your local gun club, something like that. A lot of people would have a Stop the Bleed course or a TCCC course. Yeah, very important things to learn. As I kind of joked in the beginning of the video, on this IFAK got like 56 views, and it's been out for over a year and a half. It's fine. Like, it was part of the early process, but we as gun owners are so concerned about putting holes in somebody. We are far more likely to need the ability to plug a hole, put a tourniquet on somebody, than in theory put a hole in somebody. So I strongly advocate for taking a Stop the Bleed course, getting a med kit that you're comfortable with, and then understanding your abilities. That being said, I need to go take another class. It's been a while, obviously, like I said, about a year and a half. I should go back and just do an updated course to get a good reminder on how to use this stuff. I remember most of it, and I have a slideshow from the initial event that I went to, so I can go back and reference that. But you know, I should take another course again just to be aware of that. And the last thing I'll say about tourniquets is, if you get a tourniquet, North American Rescue makes the black ones here. They make orange ones, they make blue ones, and generally the blue ones are for training. If you've never put a tourniquet on, hopefully the first time you do it isn't when somebody's, you know, hoping that you're going to save their life because they're missing a part of their limb or something like that. So either buy 2 of these, 3 of these, and then mark one up as a training tourniquet, or go buy a blue or an orange or something like that and actually put it on and make it hurt. Like, you should have bruises after this. So I'm going to go through and assemble the kit, and then I will show you just kind of how it all looks when I'm all said and done here. All right, guys, I put it all together in maybe 10 minutes or so. It wasn't too terribly long. This bag definitely has room for more I could probably fit in there. So I'll give you just kind of a quick rundown of how I set it up for now. These bags are really nice. They're a little 3 compartment kind of thing, if you will. So get it opened up, and then you get that third compartment. So for now, I have the boo-boo kit and the Band-Aids, that kind of stuff. The gloves, because obviously you don't want to be touching on people's blood. If you have the opportunity to put them on before tending to somebody, I would definitely recommend that. I also put the tape in there. I shoved the petroleum gauze into this little slot here in the middle just because I don't know when I'm going to use it. I also did include the instructions in there because I thought that was good to have. And then I packed the survival blankets in there as well. So there's 3 survival blankets in the middle. I put the, what is this one? The compressed gauze here just because it kind of fits. I put my tourniquet in the top, and I did stage it properly so that it is roughly big enough to fit around somebody's thigh, or most people's normal size thigh. So I did stage that how it should be. I threw the eye wash solution up here just because it's a good spot for it. Trauma shears here as well. Trauma dressing up here. And then I did put the chest seals in the back. So my kind of idea is that I keep the main tourniquets first thing I'm in theory need to go to. So I always kind of keep that near the top and where it's easy to get to when you first open it. That's right there. Is it the best layout? Maybe not. Like, I could probably go through and tweak it and adjust it, and I may still do that. There's room for this thing to grow. This bag has more space in it. So I'll probably add some components, that kind of stuff. I'll be watching Primary Arms for when they have sales, or North American Rescue, Dark Angel Medical. Those are kind of the 3 that I look at for medical stuff just because they have sales fairly often. Dark Angel's where I got those soft T-wides from. There are plenty of resources out there. Like I said, PrepMedic is one that I follow on YouTube, and I think there's like Popo-Medic. There's a bunch of guys on YouTube that do this stuff and can really help you understand better and that kind of stuff. While I was thinking about it, while I was putting this one together, I realized that I had this little kit as well, and this one goes in my hunting bag, and I just leave it in that backpack, and it's kind of the same idea. It's very small, very basic. but has an orange tourniquet. It has survival blanket, compressed gauze again, gloves, tape. Looks like a Band-Aid boo-boo kit in the back. So I have a few different med kits. There's a trauma dressing down here. Yeah, I mean, I kind of went off for a little bit and bought them as they were on sale, and they were good prices. And this one's nice. It's got Molly on it. These kits have Molly on them as well, but obviously they're giant for like a plate carrier. This one's not terrible, but this goes in my hunting backpack, and that way I have it all the time. So yeah, I like the medical stuff, and I have a solid basic understanding of how to use it. Like I said, I could definitely use a refresher on that, and I'll look into that here, and I will probably build this out a little bit more. They always do have, you know, Molly and stuff on the front, so if you want to add more to the front of it, you can. Very last thing I will say is, I forgot to mention it with the tourniquets, when you put a tourniquet on, that's kind of it. So when I was saying earlier that you should pick one for training, be it an orange, a blue, a black one that you just put tape on or something, you shouldn't use that then as a life-saving measure. I know I've put on my tourniquet, the original tourniquet that I bought, I put it on like one time, definitely didn't pull it near as tight as it needed to be. But just out of concern that that would be a fault in the future, I put tape on it, and that's my training one. So if I need to practice putting on tourniquet, that's one that I grab. So like I said, grab a blue one, make that your training tourniquet, try to not use it if you can at all for a life-saving measure. They're $35 for a tourniquet. They're really not that expensive for what they can save. So do your research, take a class, get some med kit, be ready to be an asset and be helpful if something arises in the future. So now that this kit is built, this will go into my truck, and like I said, I'm probably gonna add some more components and adjust it as I go forward, but this will go in my truck. This will stay in my truck. This will go in my hunting backpack where it's been. This one will go back into the range bag, and that way we always have it at the range, and then I'll put this one together and put it in my wife's truck, so my wife's car. So yeah, if you have experience with medical, if you have a great resources, great knowledge, put in the comments down below. Let's talk about it as a group and as a community. That way we all have a better understanding of what to do in case something very poor arises and we have to rise to the occasion. So thanks so much for watching. Like, share, subscribe. We'll see you in the next video. Thank you.